Hello, and thank you for tuning into the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Peak, and today's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, I heard a joke today. I know you're not supposed to tell jokes nowadays because everybody gets so hurt
Oh,
over jokes. It says without Mother's Day, it'd be a pain in the butt.
huh?
Without Mother's Day, it'd be a pain in the butt. It's a thinking joke. Anyway,
Okay, I guess I'll have to think on that one.
happy Mother's Day, everybody. Especially my mother. Hi, Mom. Um, I wish I could do like a big thing for you, like, hey, this is Mother's Day, let's have a big thing. But like our kids are like grown-ish.
Yeah, and I don't think that I, I can only speak for myself. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say I would. Most mothers, I would think, just based on what I would want for Mother's Day or what I usually want for Mother's Day, is just a quiet day of doing absolutely nothing. I mean, I don't know what other mothers expect or want for Mother's Day, but I think that I think most just want a day off.
Well, I mean, it's not unusual that like in the movie Incredibles, the mom, Ellen Parr, is Elastigirl because she has to be in so many places all at once, and
Right.
oftentimes moms feel like they're stretched out.
Right.
They're trying to go in all different places and take care of everything, and they just can't. There's been other cartoon. I think James and the Giant Peach. There was a mom figure that was a spider because she had all the eight legs and she was trying to do so much with all different directions. And like you said, sometimes you just want to like take a breath and go, okay, I don't have to do anything right now. That'd be really nice to not have to do anything. And I think we're getting to that point now that the kids are out of the house and but there's so much that happens because they still call and they need you and they
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to talk
it's
to
you're
you
never,
and
and once you're a parent, you're always a parent.
yeah.
I mean, that's the same's true for fathers. But yeah, I mean, as far as Mother's Day, I know that it's probably the biggest day of the year as far as eating out
In the restaurant
in the
business.
restaurant business.
Yeah.
I used to be in the restaurant business years ago, and I do remember Mother's Day being extremely, extremely busy.
Because no one wants to make their mom have to work in the kitchen.
Cook, all right. I
Hey, let's
mean,
take her out for something for Mother's Day. She can relax.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I say, I think that's probably what most mother. I know that's what I want as a mother is on Mother's Day is to not have to do anything if I don't want to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, today is kind of an overcast. I guess it's supposed to rain a good portion of the day, or we have a chance of rain most of the day. And for me, I'm fine with that because it forces me in and indoors. And, whenever it's beautiful and sunny outside, you feel like you're missing out if you're not out there in it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the rest. So far, I've done nothing today, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the day of doing nothing.
I looked it up. The history of Mother's Day actually got started in 1908. That was the official first Mother's Day declared or observed in the United States. And the idea was from a woman named Anna Jarvis, who
Who said I want the
organized.
day off?
Well, no, she wanted to really observe her mother and like praise her mom for doing such a great job of being a mother and taking care of them. And it's all started back then, which is kind of interesting because that's 2008 to now. That's only just over 100 years.
Yeah.
Um, but it's growing up in our lifetime of always observing Mother's Day. It's been one of those things where it's hard to imagine a time when we didn't think about our moms and want to thank our moms for doing a good job and take a moment to just say thank you once in a while and give them a hug and all that sort of thing. I can't get away from Mother's Day because my birthday's right around Mother's
Yes,
Day.
your birthday actually was yesterday.
It was yesterday,
Happy birthday,
51st.
51st birthday
Yeah,
on May the 10th.
on May the 10th. Now, this is kind of an interesting thing for me because I was looking at the sequence of the podcast, and this is actually episode 510. So May 10th, 510 kind of coincides, and it's the
51.
51st
Yeah.
birthday. So it's kind of a neat coincidence that it all coincides around the same time. Now we're recording this on Mother's Day. This is the day after, but still kind of a cool coincidence that it's right around the same time.
I think looking forward, we talked about this last night. Your birthday will be on Mother's Day next year,
Yeah,
right?
and it often is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure your birthday has fell on Mother's Day many times, right?
Yep. And I've asked my mom in the past, what do you want for Mother's Day? And she's like, you're my gift. And I'm like, oh God, that's so corny,
That's so cheesy, mom.
but also
That's
so
that's a
true.
cheesy mom thing, right?
That's so true. I am her gift. I'm a gift.
That
Boy,
keeps on giving.
aren't you always just thinking Josh is such a gift? I'm so happy that he's around. And yeah, how about that? So yeah, we
But now let
celebrated.
me ask you. That's what I was going to say. What did you have a good
I
birthday?
had an excellent birthday. I had just the coolest birthday. Um, we started off the day by having a visitor.
We did. We
Our
had a little
grandson
visitor.
got to come hang out with us, just grandparents time. Like we got to just hang out with him and be cool with him and play with him,
Yeah, the 1 year old spent a couple of hours with us
and
yesterday.
he was in such a good
He
mood.
was. It was absolutely wonderful.
He just wanted to play and explore, and he's just starting to walk, so he's like walking around and looking around and like paying attention to things. You could see like he's paying attention to things, like trying to soak it all in. Like, okay, I've been to this house before, but now
Yeah.
I can move around a lot better and I can see more being standing up, And so he was doing a lot of that, and we were able to give him a good little breakfast and then watch some TV with him, play with him.
Yeah, he's just now getting to where which I mean, as he was only here for what, maybe just 3 hours, maybe something
Yeah.
like that. Um, but he was here long enough that he did a lot of walking around, and because it's difficult for me to tote him very far, carry
Hmm.
him very far. He is 22, 23 pounds. After a while, that gets a little heavy.
Oh yeah.
So I make him walk a lot,
Yeah.
and I make him follow me around. If I would go into the washroom to do a load of clothes or move a load of clothes, I made him go. I would say, "Come with me," and he
Hmm.
would walk with me and falls a lot, but he gets there.
That's just more energy.
I know,
He's getting
but
stronger.
he was definitely, it was wearing him out. I mean,
Yeah.
he's actually starting to pay attention to nursery rhymes on the TV, which is
Hmm.
kind of cool to watch him listen to the music and
And
clap.
clap when they say
Yeah,
clap. And
but
there's a thing on YouTube called Miss Rachel that he likes to watch, and it was kind of cute. She I could see where she gathers an audience. She's captivating
is
on
it the
screen.
voice?
It's not only the voice, it's the colors. She's up close. I mean, there's a lot of encouragement.
She has a huge
She
following.
has a huge following.
But yeah,
Not that I need to promote Miss Rachel,
no,
but I'm just saying,
we had a great morning
yeah.
with our 1 year old grandson.
And what I thought was kind of cool was like we still did the things we needed to do around the house, including like taking care of the laundry and stuff. And at one point, we were going to like fold the sheets, and I noticed you walk by him, not realizing that the sheets were hanging down, and it kind of went over his head, and he thought that was so cool. He was just like, "Whoa,"
Yeah.
And then as I was like trying to fold some stuff, I noticed that you were playing peekaboo with him with the sheet, and he just loved that. He thought it was so cool. But he did come in the bedroom and help us put the sheet on the bed, which I thought was neat. He's kind of like walking around and checking it out, and it won't be long, and we'll be having him put the pillowcases on the
Yeah.
pillows just like we did with our oldest,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that's
I saw
always
a
fun.
TikTok. It's been a couple weeks ago, but there was this woman. She was the grandmother, and she was sitting at her son's house, I guess it was, and she was holding a very young, it was a very small baby up on her, up on her chest, shoulder, and she was patting the baby, and the baby was asleep, and she was doing a TikTok, and she was like, "What if we, as grandparents and parents to our children," she made a comment. She said, "My son and daughter-in-law are out to dinner, and she has the luxury of living in the same town as her kid and his wife and child, just like we do." And she was like, "What if we as grandparents were more supportive in helping their marriage be successful than we criticize or try to tell them how they should live their lives or raise their children?"
Okay.
And a lot of people, and one of the things I'm a TikToker. I don't post, I just watch, but I've really turned more in the last few weeks to the comments
Hmm.
to see what people have to say. And she was just being very supportive of her child and his wife and their baby, and helping out with the different things. And she was like, what if we were more supportive that way? And there was a lot of comments of people that were saying how negative their parents were toward them and the way that they choose to live their lives or raise their children
Hmm.
instead of being, volunteering for, hey, I mean, and that's really how we come by having our grandson yesterday morning was our daughter-in-law said, I'm going to go grab a coffee and run some errands. And I said, why, if you got errands to run, maybe you can drop him off here. And we would love to spend some time with him. And that way you don't have to pull him in and out of the car seat. And she was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
It gave us some great quality time with the baby, and it gave her time to be able to run some errands and not have to worry about a child getting irritable because you're taking them in and out of a vehicle. I mean, I really think that as parents, we should be more supportive of our adult children in their lives and not try to tell them how and I'm trying to be much better about that. If you ask me, I'm trying to be more positive with when you ask me my opinion for something, to just give my opinion. Don't say you should. We live in different times. They are
Hmm.
raising their children in different times than we raised ours.
Oh yeah.
Just like,
I couldn't imagine trying to navigate, simple things. Well, it's not simple, complicated things like a phone. Like we've watched an example of it with our nieces down in Georgia of them saying you are not going to have a phone until this time, and even then you're not going to have access to social media until this age, and sticking to their guns on that kind of thing. And you know, it's such a hard thing to navigate because in one hand you don't want to make your children susceptible to someone who's going to use them or abuse them with that kind of technology. But you also don't want to shelter them to the point that they don't know how to do anything that everybody else is figuring out, because then they face the world later on as adults and they're just blindsided by all this stuff that could come their way.
right,
So it's something like, I don't know, there's got to be a way to like raise kids with social media and do it together, like parent use social media together, but not give them access by themselves. I don't know the right answer, but it's going to be one of those things we're going to see happen with our grandkids, and it's going to be something that we're going to have to figure out how to like be part of the conversation with too, because we're going to have to figure that part out as grandparents.
well, I mean, younger children, I mean, a 1 year old,
Yeah,
that's what they see their parents do. I mean, and
sure.
and not that it's society. I mean,
Yeah,
has driven all of us to that phone. I mean, we do online banking. We place grocery orders using that phone now. I mean, a lot of us do our work as far as reading our work emails. I mean, everything now
yeah.
is more driven to that phone that's in your hand.
Well, yesterday being my birthday, I mean, my phone gave me notifications all day long, and I literally probably touched it 1,000 times
Yes,
yesterday
right.
because it was constantly ding, 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 and I was like, "Oh, look, I hadn't talked to this person in a while, and they wish me happy birthday. That's kind of nice." I mean, but it again, like if I were somebody looking at me do that all day, I'd go, "God, he must just live on that thing."
Well, I mean,
And yeah, kind of we do. I
yes.
mean,
I mean,
like you said.
it's what an infant this day and time, our 1 year old grandson
Hmm.
is, that is going to be a part of his life it's been from day one.
Yeah.
It, yeah, I'm like you. We need to not be so critical of people raising children in this
Excuse
day and
me.
time, because this is so different than when we raised ours
Yeah.
or even when our parents raised us. And we have to understand that things are changing and you have to have the mentality to not be so rigid, or that, I mean, if you don't believe in it or don't agree with it, then keep I'm going to try to keep those opinions to myself, because I'm not raising a 1 year old in today's time.
Right. Well, and also I think it's important to like establish a life outside of technology. And I think we've done that with our oldest grandson of, playing board games and going outside and walking and playing outside and doing that
Right.
sort of thing, because it is important to have a healthy relationship with technology, but also realize that you can have a better relationship in person with somebody and like interacting. And so I think we're on the right track of that. And, I want us to continue on that and be part of that more. And I think it'll be healthy for everybody, for us included. I mean, we definitely have a better time when we get to play with them and
Yes.
interact
Yeah.
with them rather than watching them just sit on a device. So, but yeah, so started off the day visiting with the grandson and playing with him and having such a great time with him. And we were gearing up for an event that we were going to do in the evening, a dinner that we had planned.
And
But
we've had this dinner planned for a long time.
you made a comment that hey, we're going to be up late, and I got up super early because I'm booking our stuff for our vacation coming up, and I could go for a nap. And I was like, I could go for a nap too, but I haven't taken a nap in a long
Oh
time.
gosh, yes.
I mean, a long time. I think we were in Grenada the last time I took a nap.
It's been a long time.
And so I was like, yeah, I can take a
Years.
nap. And I did take a nap. I fell asleep and slept for about 2 hours. And when I woke up, I was like, oh wow, this is cool. Now I get the rest of the day. I feel like I'm fully energized. We were able to meet some friends and go to dinner. And for our dinner, it was something very special. This dinner,
We had a dinner
we had a
experience.
dinner experience. It was out of town. We had to travel from Florence, South Carolina to Wilmington, North Carolina. Um, I don't. How did you guys hear about this place to start with?
This was booked
Was
year
this
this
something that Lori and Danny
Yes,
found?
yeah. Our friends, the Shaws, that are they're originally from Ohio. They live here in Florence. Their daughter, that's still one of their daughters, still lives in the Ohio area. She lives in Cleveland. Her husband and children do. They had given Danny and Lori a tour, like a food tour for Christmas one year. I think it was last year, or maybe it was the year before, and it took them that long to use it. So I think it was October, November of last year. Lori and Danny booked this food tour in Wilmington, and it was a tour where you met with a group, and I want to say there was a tour guide and a couple of people in the group, and this tour guide person took them around to several restaurants. They had like a cocktail at the first restaurant, they had an appetizer at the second, and so for the whole
Did they
meal.
walk around the
They
city for
walked.
that?
They
Okay.
walked the riverfront area
Yeah.
of Wilmington, the historic area. That's really, I mean, I've been.
It's
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
They did that. So while they were on this tour, they happened to be right across the street. The tour guide stopped across the street and pointed to a restaurant that was called Cousins Italian Deli. Now, this was not a restaurant that was on the tour that they were doing, but they did say that the tour guide said, just going to stop here for a second and point out this location. And tour guide said, if you ever get the chance to do their family style dining, they do it on Friday and Saturdays only. And it is absolutely amazing. It's $40 a person for a 6-course meal. She said, trust me, you will not be disappointed.
Hmm.
So, of course, Lori, she was like the food, this food person that took them around, this tour guide, to the ones that she chose was great. So she thought, okay, I trust her recommendation. So when she got back home, she called this Cousins Italian Deli and said, I want to book a Saturday night for your family style dining. And the earliest we could get, and she called in November of last year, the earliest she could get for a party of 6. It's going to be them, me and you, and then Cheryl and Phil, our other couple that we're friends with that lives in Harrells, North Carolina now, was March 10th. Now we were trying to get something
May 10th.
May 10th. I'm sorry. May 10th. We were trying to get something for Cheryl's birthday, which is the end of March. So Lori thought, oh, it's November. We should have no problem getting a Saturday toward the end of March. No, the earliest we could get was May 10th. And when Lori said, I took it, booked it for 6, she called me and Cheryl and told us, and I was like, oh, that's Josh's birthday. So she was like, okay, great. That gives us something to celebrate. So we stuck with May 10th. We went, that was last night.
That was 6 months ago.
That was 6 months ago. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, there is no way that I would put it anything less than a 10, but I would go higher if I could,
Yeah.
because everything about it was absolutely amazing.
The place only, like, she made a comment, the lady coming by that was the owner's wife, we actually found out, Debbie, made a comment that they had 54 eating in there last night, 54
Yeah,
people.
I think they
It's
changed.
not
It's not a very big
it's not a
place. It's
very
very
big place.
small. Dur-
During the day, they're like a deli
yes, and
restaurant.
they're only open during the day. I think they
Hmm.
serve breakfast and deli sandwiches during the day,
Hmm.
Monday through Thursday. They close, I want to say they close fairly early. I mean, I don't know that they're opened at all in the
Like two
evenings.
o'clock.
Yeah, something like that. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, they do this family style dinner. And I think they said it's 6 o'clock on Fridays and 7 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay, I'm looking on their website. It says they close at 2:30. They're
Okay.
open from 10 a.m. They open at 10 a.m.
Well,
and they close at 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. It says closed Saturday and Sunday, but then they do the dinner on Friday night from 8:30.
8:30 p.m.
I'm sorry, 6 p.m. to
Yeah.
8:30, and then on Saturday they do it from 7 p.m. to 9:30. And it says call ahead reservations only.
Well, about the dinner first before we talk about the
Okay.
end of our dinner.
Okay.
So the dinner was very small, very quaint. We got there and it's just it's tiny. Like I say, 54 was all that was in the building last night.
Yep. And we
When
sat kind of close to each other.
Yes, when you walk up to the building on a Saturday, anyway, it's locked up. They do not unlock the door until 7. You can see in the windows. And of course, we have been looking forward to this for 6 months. We were all super excited about it. And they had the tables all set with flowers and white tablecloths.
And bruschetta was on the
And
table.
they put out, as we were standing there, they put out fresh bruschetta and garlic toast, and then they unlock the door. Now, they do not serve alcohol, but they do allow you to bring wine or beer in. So when you sit down, they will actually, there's glasses on the table for you to pour your
Mhm.
own wine out of your own bottle.
They have pitchers of ice water. There's ice water at every table setting, and then they also have fountain drinks
I
that
think
you
they
can
said
get.
they had soft drinks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but none of us,
Pepsi products.
yeah, we all took, each couple took a bottle of wine
Yep.
of our choice, and they have the wine opener right there on the table so that you can open your bottle. They even give you the little cooler thing to set it in to keep it chilled if you
Hmm.
have it chilled. But so then we started with and like I say, it was 6 courses. Our first course was the bruschetta,
Which was really good.
really good. I'm
The
not a
the
bruschetta.
tomatoes were salted just perfectly.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was chilled. It was, oh man, it was so, and the garlic bread was crisp and buttery, but like just cooked perfectly. I mean, it just melted in your mouth when it all got together.
Yeah, so that's how we started. We started off with the bruschetta and the
Hmm.
garlic toast.
Yep.
And then our second course, and they clear that away. I mean, and it didn't, the first few courses came pretty close together, but then as the courses went on and got heavier, they did give us a little bit of time
To like digest a little bit and talk a little bit.
Yes, which I really love. I
Yeah.
love it whenever you have a little bit of time
Yep.
between
It wasn't like a rushed meal.
no, not at all.
You could tell everybody in the restaurant was in the conversations because it got kind of loud in there because everybody was talking and everybody seemed to be having a good time
Yes.
throughout the restaurant. And it was fun. I mean, it kind of family style serving and everything. It felt like you were kind of sitting down with family and eating.
Yes. Yep.
You know,
Our second course was the what is the menus on the website?
is it?
Yes. The second course was the course that had you get a big platter, and there were 6 at our table. So we had 6 of each item on the platter. There was lemon sauteed shrimp.
Antipasta.
That was the antipasta
You
course.
had savory bites, including aranici. I don't know what aranici is. I think that's the thing that had the rice in it.
The
little
rice
fried
ball.
rice ball thing. Eggplant rollatini,
Which was amazing.
which was really good. Sauteed shrimp and marinated mushrooms. They were all really
Yes.
excellent.
And there was, like I said, there was portions for 6
Yeah.
of the like the rice balls. There was 6 of those.
Yep.
Of the little eggplant.
There was 6 of those.
There
little
was 6 of
eggplant
those
things.
little
Yep.
eggplant things. There were several people. There was one person in our group that is not a very adventurous eater, but he went into this with I'm going to try stuff.
Yeah.
And he actually is one of the people. I mean, we all went on and on about how great the meal was, but
Hmm.
even he was just completely blown away with some of the things that he tried and actually liked, because he was worried going in that he was not going to have a lot to choose from to eat.
Yeah.
That was our second course. So our third course was
A salad.
a salad.
Yep. With their signature balsamic dressing, my cousin's Joey's balsamic dressing, which was really sweet.
We bought a bottle.
Um,
Actually,
we actually bought a
they
bottle and
sell
brought it
bottles of
home.
it.
Yep. It's kind of a big deal when the place that you're getting it from makes their own sauce or dressing or anything like that. It's probably worthwhile to try and grab a bottle and bring it home. Um, but
For
it also had lettuce that you don't normally eat. It had some romaine and arugula and different things that are mixed greens. You tend to like the iceberg a
I
little
like
more.
iceberg and romaine. I'm not a big arugula,
Yeah.
or what is the other one that's purple?
Oh, the kale variation.
I'm just not
Yeah.
that. But now, what few pieces I did taste, now that probably was my, of the six courses, that was my least favorite, but only because it wasn't the type of green that I like to eat. I did get a chance to taste a
It
little
had
bit
some
of the dressing,
it
enough
had
to
some
know that I
olives
wanted. Yeah, it had olives and peppers,
and some
right?
peppers. Yep.
And
I
everybody at the
liked it.
table loved it. I ate a few pieces of some romaine and enough to know that I wanted to buy a bottle of the dressing, which we did.
Hmm. And then our pasta came, and it says on here, chef's pasta of the evening, crafted with love and creativity. So, like, we heard that they kind of mix it up between the pastas that they serve once in a while. We happen to have a penne pasta with it's like a tomato based sauce, but you could tell it had a cream in it, and it had like cuts up pieces of ham and mushroom in there too.
Oh,
It was so delicious.
it
The sauce alone, we all made a comment. I could lick the bowl.
yes, all of us said that we
There
could
was none
actually
left
get
whenever they
no.
came to get the bowl back.
I don't think any of the, maybe a little bit of salad was still left in the bowl
Yeah.
whenever, but that was the only portion that was left. We ate we ate everything.
Hmm. And then it says the main course is boneless chicken course with fresh seasonal vegetables. A fish entree is available upon request for an additional charge. We happen to have the
I want
chicken
to I
marsala.
want to say it was like a chicken marsala,
Yep. And
which were the whole chicken
our
breast.
our vegetables were green beans, whole green beans
Yes.
with garlic. I've noticed in some of the pictures online that some people get like, broccoli or asparagus or whatever. I'm sure it's just whatever is freshest in season.
Yeah, we happened
Um,
to get green beans. But now the chicken breasts were whole chicken breasts, and there was six of us
that
at
was
the
enough for
table.
everybody to have two.
I didn't have two,
Yeah,
and I don't
I
think
had two.
Lori had two.
Yeah.
But there was more than enough. I want to say there was probably 9 or 10 chicken breasts on that platter that they served us, and it had that gravy on and artichoke hearts. It had artichoke
Yeah.
hearts. Very, very good.
Hmm.
Amazing.
And then our dessert came, and we had homemade Italian style desserts, including cannolis with chocolate chips inside and powdered sugar on top, carrot cake, which was decadent, and biscotti, also with some powdered sugar, and it's served with fresh brewed coffee. And we normally don't drink coffee at night, but if we're on a cruise, sometimes we'll ask for some coffee because it's so good. And this is a perfect way to kind of like wrap up the
Oh
evening
yeah, all
because
six of us got coffee.
we all got coffee. We all enjoyed it. I don't think anybody left any in their cup. It
No,
was so
everybody drank the
good.
coffee and eat all of the desserts because you get one piece of each.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, it was just, we were so full when we left there. But as we were wrapping up, the owner and his wife come around and introduce themselves
Yep.
to each table
Joe and Debbie.
and asked you, how you enjoyed it. Which, I mean, I don't think there was anybody in that place that did not 100% enjoy that. But we asked while we were eating, we started talking about when we could go back. I mean, we were like, okay, we've got to do this again. And let's plan a weekend where the six of us can come down here and enjoy Wilmington and make this our Saturday dinner that while we're here. The next birthday that's coming up is Shaw's birthday is in August. So when Miss Debbie of the owner's wife she comes around to each table. She's got a book in her hand, and Lori and Danny were sitting on the end of the table that we were at. So Lori starts asking her, "Is hey, we would like the six of us would like to book again. Do you have any availability in August? Possibly." And she gave the date because
The seventh,
I think Danny's birthday is actually on uh Saturday.
the
In
seventh. Yeah,
No, his birthday is not the 7th.
whatever.
Anyway, so she says the lady with the book, Miss Debbie, she goes, "Yes, we do." Then we realize that she is talking about availability in August of 2026.
Yeah.
And Lori said, "Oh, you don't have anything available in August of this year? We're talking about August of this year." And the lady said, "We are completely booked solid until January of next year." January of next year. And this is
This is May.
May.
This is early May.
And
So
I'm like,
we're talking 7, 8 months out here, and good luck getting in. You better put your name on the list now if you want to
I
go.
mean, that alone speaks volumes.
Oh yeah.
Number one, it took us 6 months to get in,
Yeah.
and they're booked for the rest of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and I see why. I mean, I absolutely see why. So of course we booked for January of next year, and I'm as of today, I'm looking forward to that next meal there in January of next year.
Yeah. It says they opened up the restaurant there in downtown Wilmington in 2012. Um, they wanted to move down south where it was a little bit warmer,
Yeah, they're
and
from New Jersey,
they're from, yeah,
the
from New
the New
Jersey.
Jersey area. I think I read that he was actually in business in New Jersey with a cousin,
That's how I got
and
started.
that's how it got started.
Yep.
The Cousins Deli.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go there and eat lunch. I mean, I'm sure that their sandwiches.
Oh, the pictures look amazing.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there looking at it, my mouth is watering. I'm like, no, 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 it's not time yet. Just calm down. Yeah, looks amazing. But yeah, fantastic dinner for my birthday. I know it was kind of coincidental that she booked it, but still, it made it really nice that we were able to celebrate it with friends. And I got to talk to a lot of family during the day too that called and talked. We talked for a long time, and that was nice too. So, great time with friends. Danny drove us there and back, so I didn't have to drive. It's a very nice birthday.
yeah, we opted to come back last night. I mean, we could
Yeah.
have stayed, but with today being Mother's Day, I kind of wanted to be home today, and so did Lori, so that we didn't have to. It's what 2 hours and 15 minutes from here to Wilmington,
Well, unless you're flying the Shire Lines, then it's
and
two
I
hours.
would drive that 2 hours and 15 minutes back to this restaurant
Yeah,
again because it was, and back to Florence. It was well worth every single mile.
yeah. So let's talk about the significance of May the 10th because it actually has some history kind of tied to it.
Well, of course, you were born that day.
Well, I mean, of course that, but back in 1869, that's when the Transcontinental Railroad was completed. They actually, I didn't know this, but they actually drove the last stake in a gold stake in Promontory, Utah, marking the completion of the first transcontinental railroad tying the western and eastern states together. So this is actually considered National Train Day as well.
Yesterday was.
Yesterday, yeah. Mother's Day was started on May 10th back in 1908. We talked about that. Nelson Mandela was inaugurated in 94 on May the 10th, being the first black president of South Africa. That's kind of a big deal. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. The first woman was nominated for U.S. president, Victoria Woodhull, back in 1870 on May 10th. Um, Lots of little things pop up. It's kind of neat. Um, I share a birthday with a lot of celebrities, like Bono from U2, um, Sid Vicious, a punk rocker, kind of a big deal. Keenan Thompson and others. There's lots of others. But for me, one of the things I always think about is back in 2023, there was a movie that came out called Identity. And I watched this at the house back before you and I really, that's before I moved in, before, as definitely before we got
What
married,
year?
2003.
Yes,
This was
yeah,
just before I moved in with
yeah. It's
you.
before we got married.
I was a single parent. I had the two kids with me. They're in their bed asleep, and I think I rented this because I was back when you rented movies.
from Blockbuster
from
Video.
well, from Hollywood Video because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
But I rented this movie because I heard it was good. It was like a scary kind of thing, but John Cusack was in it, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet, um, a bunch of people that I knew, Alfred Molina, Gary Busey Jr. I mean, all these people. I was like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. I started watching it, and like my kids were asleep, and I'm watching this by myself, and the whole story is based on an Agatha Christie murder mystery kind of thing. But basically, you're starting off the thing with a serial killer talking about how he has dissociative sociopathical kind of tendencies. He can't remember what he's done, but he thinks about a thing that happened as a story. So as he's telling the story, like these actors are acting it out, and you're kind of seeing it happen in reverse order. 10 strangers meet at an isolated hotel, and then they start dying one after another until there's like four left, and then they all start talking about um, one lady starts having a freak out section, and she makes a comment. She goes, "All this on my birthday," and they're like, "What did you say?" She's like, "It's on my birthday." And it's like, "Wait, your birthday's May the 10th?" And they all go, "That's my birthday." And I'm watching this and I'm going, "Holy crap!" And like I turned the TV off and ran outside. I was like, "This is too freaky." And for a moment I thought to myself, "What if everybody who watches this, it like knows it's their birthday and it says their birthday?" And I thought this can't be like written into the story, right? But I went back and watched it again, and I was like, okay, this is actually how they wrote it. This is kind of a weird coincidence. So it's just my tie-in with a weird movie that it's a great movie, by the way. If you ever have a chance to watch it, it is scary. Um, but yeah, lots of actors that were prominent actors at the time got together and made this. And again, it's all based on an Agatha Christie story called "And Then There Were None." That's the name of her book. So anyway,
Okay.
just kind of tying it all together with one big bow.
Also, yesterday, May 10th, I had to book our multi pass and single pass
Oh,
for Disney, which
oh,
required me to be up and online by 7 a.m. And I don't know the weirdness of setting an alarm for a Saturday that early. I'm not one that likes to get up super early on the weekends because I do during the week, but for some reason I was worried I was going to miss the alarm, I guess.
so you woke up ahead of the alarm?
Oh yeah, by
I
like
see. I thought you were being nice and let me sleep in
I had the alarm set for
because I
6:45.
woke up later and like you were already like finishing up. I
Yeah.
was like,
Well, I mean, I had
oh,
everything
well, I
wrote
didn't hear the
down.
alarm at all.
Yeah, I had everything wrote down that I wanted to purchase,
Yeah.
and I had the order all wrote down that I would need to purchase the items that the rides that we wanted to get. And I thought, okay, as long as I'm up and online by about a quarter till 7, I'll be fine. I set the clock for 6:45, but I was up at 4:50 for some reason. But anyway, I was definitely ready at 7 a.m. whenever our reservations
I
went
would think
live. Oh
so.
yeah. I tried it like 3 minutes till and it wouldn't let me do it early. It was just going to make me wait till 7. But the minute it turned 7 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
I purchased our multi pass and or single pass for the whole week, and I was done by 7:04.
Yeah. Well, and luckily this is something new, and we talked about this last week, but we had talked about how now, you can book your vacation 7 days out if you're staying in a Disney
You
resort.
can book your multi pass and single pass.
Yeah, at 7 a.m., that's when they're eligible. And if you're staying off premises, you
It's
have to wait until it's 3 days before
right.
your reservations. But luckily, I mean, this is way better than what they used to do before, where
Yes,
you had to
because
wake up
before you had
every
to,
single
yeah,
day.
you had to do it day of.
And it was like, oh, you never get to sleep in anymore. This is ridiculous. But now it's like, hey, you got vacation coming up. Go ahead and book your time. You're going to be here for a week. Go ahead and book it all.
Yeah.
So I like that. I also like the fact that you took care of
Yes.
it. Kind of a neat coincidence that it was my birthday and you
I
took care
was
of
a
all
little,
that
I
for me.
wouldn't say I was a little, at first I was a little stressed out until I started watching some TikTok videos and did some research,
And luckily,
YouTube
there's a lot of
videos.
people that went the extra mile and
Yes, there's a
showed us
lot of
really good
travel agents
examples.
that do a great
Yep.
job of walking you through what to do. And I took several pointers from
Yep.
that worked out really well.
I remember the one that I noticed the most was she said, "Don't worry about the times.
Right.
Just go
Just
ahead
buy.
and book your days, select a few things that you want to ride, and then get out of it and go to the next day and just book them all. And then you can change your times. And I was
Yes.
like, well, that seems like it's really helpful.
Yes, that worked very good because what what that allowed me to do was I was able to grab rides
Mm-hmm.
for you
Mm-hmm.
and we're going the same time our son and daughter-in-law are going. She was doing the same thing yesterday morning. She was on her app
Mm-hmm.
in her home, and we had already agreed or we had already decided, okay, on this day, this is the park we're going to be in, this is the rides we want to grab. So we were able to do that. And at the end, once we had done that, she and I just text each other back and forth and said, hey, I got this ride for this time, what did you get? And the ones that didn't match up for the times, we were able to go in and edit and change the times so that we will be able to ride all of the rides that we chose
Mm-hmm.
with them.
Yep. And I noticed that, like, even as I woke up and saw what you were doing, I noticed that part of it was, or one of the days had us zigzagging across the park, and I was like, I don't know if we can do all that. And you were able to change that. You and her both were able to
Yeah.
change that, and that's going to be working out great. So, I mean, yeah, I like the way they've done it now, and
Well, I will know more about, I mean, it was definitely more,
we'll have to talk about it when we get
yes,
done
it was
using
less
it.
stressful. No, I do like knowing that we don't have to get up at 7 a.m. or 10 minutes till 7 every single morning while we're on
Mm-hmm.
vacation to buy our multi pass or single pass for the day. I like knowing that all that's done already.
Yeah,
We will let you know once we get back from our vacation how all of that worked out.
yeah,
It's going to be very warm.
possibly
Yeah, possibly.
with cold nights,
You
possibly.
think it's going to be cooler at night?
Yeah, yeah, it's been cold here at night.
Yesterday it was rather chilly.
Yeah. So who knows? We'll have to like look at it really close before we pack our final stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Uh, so um, this whole episode was mostly about a commercial for the Cousins Deli, Italian Deli up in
Yeah,
Wilmington, North
Cousins
Carolina.
Italian Deli.
Not that they're not paying us or anything. We just want to give them a huge shout out
It's
because
Wilmington, North Carolina. What was their address?
they're downtown on Third Street.
3rd Street.
It's
Okay.
easy to figure out. So, give them a call and book your reservations. And if you want to take me, give me a call and I'll go
Yeah, I'd
with
be
you.
more than happy to go with you.
I'll point to you what you should eat, where you should park.
Oh, and we need to
Um,
mention that it was what $40 a person. So when the bill
yeah.
came, it was how much was the bill before gratuity?
Well, we bought the sauce too, so it
That's
was
right.
like,
We bought the salad dressing, which
yeah,
was $9 a
yeah, it
bottle,
was like
or
90.
$8.99 a
I think
bottle.
total was like 94 or something, and I just tipped. I tipped
Yeah.
really well.
I mean, it was. We've definitely eaten
97.
more expensive meals that were not that good.
Yeah.
That as far as the quality.
Yeah, this is one of I would put it in our top 10 of
Oh
places we've
yes,
eat ever.
because it was not just a. It wasn't just a meal. It was an
It was the people
experience.
and the
Yes,
atmosphere and
yes.
everything. Yeah. So, again, check them out and tell them you heard them here at stuff I heard. And if you want to bring me with you, I'll be happy to come along and point you in the right direction. There is a parking garage around the corner, and we parked there and walked, and it's not very far. It was on Second Street, and we were there for not long enough to actually have a charge. So when we got up front, it was like free parking,
Oh
which
yeah.
was
Okay,
nice.
I didn't
So
realize that.
yeah, they had a thing that said if you're here for this many hours, then it's like $2. But if it's less, then it's free. So I thought that was kind of nice. So anyway, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, share this with your friends. Support the businesses that are doing well. They depend on you, especially those mom and pops places. And as always, cue the cow.
Cue the cow. Moo, baby.